and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 59. I'm Kelvin.
I'm Robert.
The conversation continues today with more Cage. You can never go wrong with Cage. We're going to be tackling the movie Mandy. But first, a little entertainment news. Wanted to do something a little different with entertainment news, if that's okay with you, sir.
Sure.
We just lost someone. The world just lost someone.
Yes.
Stan Lee. He was born December 28th, 1922. 95 years old. Mm-hmm. And as much as it sucks to lose him, I'm sure that man has lived one hell of a life. He touched a lot of lives with his entertainment and the things he co-created with Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby. Like, oh my goodness. And it's still going and probably will be going for years to come. I don't know if he influenced you at all, but
absolutely.
We've done podcasts, that feature this guy's stuff. Such superheroes, and I'm reading this, which I don't really need to, but Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Fantastic Four, Black Panther, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, many, many, many more he co-created and created. Spider-Man's dad, is gone, and I just figured this entertainment news, we should pay respects to him. Small moment of silence. And just a thank you, and he will be missed. My childhood is painted with that man's work, So, thanks, Stan Lee. Like I said, you will be missed. I guess that makes this so sad starting it that way. But that'll bring us to trailers. I don't know if you want to say anything about him, but great man, lost but not forgotten. That brings us to trailers. I want to start with me.
Sure, go ahead.
I remember this one because it shocked me. So I had my doubts about this movie. Extreme doubts.
Uh-oh.
Extreme doubts. Then they said Ryan Reynolds was going to voice it.
Oh, you stole mine.
And I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, that was mine.
What they're doing with this, in my opinion, shocked the hell out of me. And it looks good.
It looks good, but I'm worried.
Oh.
Because I watched a thing not too long ago about Super Mario Brothers, that live action movie. Yeah. And how it didn't do so well because they veered so far from the base material. And I'm not for sure if this one is going to do that, but it seems like they're doing this weird, like he's a detective.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that fits in.
And he's trying to help this kid find his dad, and it's not really about catching Pokemon it's just Pokemon's happen to be in the universe. So
I guess the kid wanted to be a Pokemon master.
Yeah, but it just seems like they're veering away from
source material.
Like the source material, what makes it, or what originally made it so catchy and addictive, even though it's still going strong. So maybe it won't hurt it. Maybe it'll bring a whole new layer to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm so interested because it looks really good. I mean,
it does, except for every Pokemon is furry. Yeah. Other than that, it looks really amazing.
It looks really good. And I like that he can understand Pikachu, which is kind of weird, but nobody else can.
Meowth?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess everyone else could understand Meowth.
Yeah. But so that brings another element of weirdness because everybody else wants to hear
that'll probably be a mystery.
Yeah. So
I enjoyed that. Like, he's like, can you understand him? Sure, I can. Pika. Yeah. But yeah,
it looks good though.
I'm extremely interested, being a huge fan of Pokemon growing up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Don't you think it's been a while? I mean, as long as Pokemon's been around, they've waited this long for a live action.
I mean, technology finally caught up. Like, because I mean, they could have, but it would have been like I don't think the CG would have looked this good, you know?
Yeah.
And you can tell people have learned their lessons. Like, it's darker, and CG does look better in darker settings. So, yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be real good. Sorry, I stole your trailer.
That's okay.
It's a joint trailer this episode.
Yes, we did a joint trailer.
Yeah, so that will bring us to Mandy.
Yes.
And not Mandy Moore. No. That once great singer. This one, starring Nicolas Cage, came out 2018, this year, actually. And we didn't get it here where we are right in theaters, which sucks because I would
very depressing.
Love to see this in theaters. My first thing about this movie that stands out, other than Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage,
that's a big thing to get around.
She is a very creepy looking woman. Lovely.
Have you seen pictures of the actress though? Like outside of
no. Did they make her look that way?
A little bit. Okay. I don't think she looks as creepy in other roles. And then if you just look up her, like Google her picture or whatever,
gotcha.
I think she's an attractive woman.
Okay,
but I don't know. I mean, to each their own. I mean, I think they hyped up the her plainness maybe or her creepiness.
Those eyes, like they did a fantastic job of making them look dead inside.
They were perfect for the role.
Yeah,
and her acting was perfect for the role. But yeah, she's in. It's
Andrea Riseborough. Yeah, she does not look at all.
No, she's not. I mean, they pumped it up for the movie.
Yeah, they definitely made her. She looked older and
it's
everything.
Like your girl Charlize Theron or whatever you say her name. Like in that movie Monster, she wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
They really made her look
movie magic.
A little more aggressive.
I'm acting like I've never seen. But yes, Andrea played Mandy, the lead, the title role, I should say. So I guess a brief synopsis of this film. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
A lumberjack and his lovely wife who live out in the middle of nowhere.
Basically.
Encounter a cult and things go haywire. Boom!
Batshit bananas.
Oh, so first of all, Nicolas Cage, lumberjack, calm, cool, collective, great guy. Like he seems like a nice enough person.
Right.
Mandy, she is trippy from the start.
Right.
She's like all. And this movie, let's start with this movie. Very 80s feeling.
Yes, very purposeful too, I believe.
Like it felt like even with the scene, or not the scene, but like I guess chapter changes,
which I loved.
But they did the whole trippy title sequences and. Woo!
Too much for you?
There were scenes in this movie where my jaw dropped literally, and sometimes out of confusion, sometimes out of wonder. Wow.
In a good way or a bad way? I'm curious.
In a good way.
You're struggling.
Yeah, because like. I think I loved it for the wrong reasons.
Okay, why did you love
it? Like, I don't want to jump ahead too far because, like, Nicolas Cage going from zero to Cage in about 30 seconds was my favorite thing in the bathroom scene. Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
You just start screaming uncontrollably.
Yeah, but let's not get there yet. We have to get to the cult. What was the name?
I don't even remember the name.
Jeremiah. Jeremiah was, and they were the children of something. I can't remember exactly what they were called, but anyway. But okay, let's even go back further than that. So this house that Nicolas Cage and Red, I guess his name was, and Mandy live in, Would you sleep in that bedroom?
If that was the bedroom in the house, I guess.
I would turn that into like a sunroom or something.
It seemed weird because, but in a way, it was like we were sleeping in nature because they had a bunch of.
Yeah, they were surrounded by forests.
They were trippy people. They were like they were into the whole
lumberjack, and
they were into the woods. And she belonged in the forest.
She was into a lot. But did she not come off as just crazy?
No.
I guess. See,
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
I think I misinterpreted this movie.
No, she came across.
I did want to point out. I did see Elijah Wood's name as a producer on this movie.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Go ahead.
She came across to me as like a wood nymph. You know what I mean? Like
I see that.
And this is my whole take on the entire movie. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Yep. This whole thing, very 80s, but it seemed to me this was like a fantasy movie being told in the 80s. This whole thing was fantasy. It was like, he was like, if you could just picture him like Nicholas with an axe instead of a chainsaw.
The warrior.
Yeah. And then
she was a fairy.
And she was like this little fairy thing in the woods. And those cult people, you can see them in old time.
They were demons.
They were old time costumes. And they were like just people, but they're in the cult, but they summon demons, those guys on the motorcycles. Like you could see those guys on horses with fire coming out of their eyes. This was a fantasy movie.
You son of a bitch.
I know. This was a fantasy movie that came out that was placed in the 80s. From the title changes from each chapter, the acts, the way those things just fanned out, and it was just so beautiful. It was like one of those science fiction novels you read in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. That's what it appeared to me. It was like just a movie version of that, a trippy movie version of that, and I thought it was just amazing the way they put that all together. If that's what they were intending, but that's what I got from it. It seemed it's a fantasy. It's like the movie Legend, except for in the 80s.
In the 80s.
But with all,
because it literally makes no sense for him to make an axe.
Yeah.
When there's guns and stuff. But if you put it in that.
Yeah. And all the characters seemed over the top, like they were from a book almost. Like it was just these weird, like I don't even want to say cliches of characters, but
they made it all work, which I did like.
But yeah, I mean, some of the scenes, the guy was just sitting there staring off so awkwardly. It seemed like they were just framing a character from a fantasy novel. And I thought they did a great job of translating that, if that's what they intended.
Oh, if
you rewatch it with that in mind, you'll see it. Because first, I watched this a couple times.
I'm rewatching it now in my head like this,
and it's like it just seems like that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. She's like this.
Her creepiness, I thought, was perfect. It made sense.
Because that's how fairies are depicted, as these awkward. Forest roaming.
Just think of how Jack in the movie Legend, Tom Cruise, acted, and he was all kind of like ditzy and kind of like,
and even Tinkerbell like accent.
I mean, it just seemed that's what they were doing to me.
Well, that puts a new frame on it.
Yep.
But it still doesn't take away from some of the weirdness.
Yes, there's some definite weirdness in this, but it's great weirdness.
Jeremiah and Mandy meeting. Mandy. We get a montage of happiness with Red and Mandy.
Like all about the husband and the wife.
Yeah,
and they're perfect, and they complement each other in the weirdest sort of way.
But then one fateful day, Mandy's walking down, I guess, to her job, and Jeremiah sees her out the window.
And the way she's walking, she's walking, and the wind's blowing, and she's like moving with nature. Yeah. And just kind of, it's weird looking, and it's just so, I want to say beautiful, but I don't know what other word to use, because I know that's not the word that I'm thinking of, because she's not traditionally beautiful, but just the scene in itself.
She's IRL. I just look at her picture. She's
like just the way she's moving through the trees, and it was just like breathtaking. And then he sees that, and he kind of falls in love with it, basically. But he apparently has fallen in love with been with lots of women. So I don't know if this is just another one of his. Him to. One of his conquests. But anyway, he sees her, and he's like, I gotta have her.
But when he gets back to wherever the hotel or whatever they're staying at, that scene when he's talking to that old lady, there was one part that I laughed at, and I had to rewind the movie because I was laughing too hard. Please. That dramatic. Do you remember that?
Yes. I thought it was great. It just showed his personality. He's so over the top crazy, thought he was like a messiah or something.
He did. And his cult of merry men.
And women.
Once, I guess, I'm pretty sure he slept with them all.
Yeah. I am assuming that's how they got initiated.
Yeah.
And that's how they became, I guess, I don't know. It was just, I just like...
Very Dama party is. Dama party?
Yeah. I like when he calls, at that scene you were talking about, he calls the other girl in. Like, send her in, because after seeing that other girl walking in the woods, I'm in the mood.
Yeah. And then they hatch a plan to give the fat blonde guy away.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, they summon these demons.
Yes.
Like, again, very fantasy based.
Mm-hmm.
How they did it, even they just randomly summon these demons. Like, what I don't know what they were bikers
who were hopped up on a special type of LSD,
and they were super jacked up. Like,
but we don't learn that till later. So they kind of make you think that they are demonic.
They're masochists and sadists all at the same time. They were just hurting themselves and
nails sticking out of them. And
they were nuts, but they summoned, very demon like, and they summoned these guys to basically snatch that girl so that the guy from the cult leader could have her. Very strange, but... And
then they let him know there must be blood sacrifice.
Yeah, so they're going to give him the big guy.
The big guy, which is hilarious when he gets taken. But, yeah, so these demons go in there and they freaking get the job done.
They don't mess around. They all go in. Everybody's in there.
Yeah, because it was nighttime. They were sleeping and... There's nothing old Nicolas Cage at that point.
And I liked how he sent the old woman to wherever she worked at.
That was a weird scene.
Even the girl thought it was weird because she went back to reading her book and then looked up again like, wow, that was strange.
Yeah. But I mean, she was like so anti talking to this old lady, you know.
Yeah,
like,
she just wanted to read her book.
This old lady's like, hey, so you live around here? And she's like, yeah.
Obviously. We're in the middle of nowhere.
But that was just like an awkward, very, very awkward exchange between those two. I didn't quite understand what they were.
I thought it was perfect.
Going for. But you're supposed to be jolly as a store clerk to customers.
No, not out there. Everybody knows each other. You know you're not jolly. It's fine. You just come in to buy some gum and you go.
True. Yeah, those demons.
They snatch her, the demon snatcher.
Yeah, those demons, like they're all on dirt bikes and ATVs, and
they don't sound like dirt bikes and ATVs. They sound like demons,
and they even come from like this red luminescent light.
Strangest stuff. What did you think of the scene when they summoned the demons, but they hadn't gotten there yet? And the guy's like, "So I guess we gotta wait." And the other dude, and the dude's like playing with the window, and the other guy's sitting there trying not to slap him or something. He's like, "Oh, please stop." He's just playing. It was
very real, I guess. You know, like, I mean, what else are you gonna do? And maybe that kid hadn't seen them yet ever before, or
I don't know if they were trying to say this guy's really dumb, or
I think so.
They were trying to like over explain that. I don't know. It was just a strange scene, and it just like almost takes you out of the movie for a second because you like start
it doesn't
laughing.
Quite fit, yeah,
you start laughing, and you're like, "What's going on?"
I laughed a couple times and stuff. I probably shouldn't have. But so they dope her up to high heaven when they get her,
and it leads to one of the greatest scenes,
and then
ever.
They even stick her with a hornet.
They do some weird. There's some kind of a crazy hornet that that gets you high too. I don't know what was going on. There's like multiple drugs going on.
And they set her up to go in and see Jeremiah. Yeah. Like this is he finally gets his love, and she's high, so of course he can talk his way into those panties, right?
While everybody's sitting around in this weird couch section or watching,
he's in a robe and he's ready.
Did you see the unrobing coming?
Or was it? Tell you no.
I love that he played his own music.
He did.
It's like, have you heard of the Carpenters? Have you heard of the Carpenters?
Well,
this is even better than that.
So they go into this psychedelic, trippy, high, crazy scene. And she's like drugged out of her mind, stung by a hornet that makes you hallucinate even more. And he's trying to convince her that she will fall in love with him. Mm-hmm. And he, like Robert said, plays his own music instead of the Carpenters and unrobes right then and there.
And then all of a sudden, the greatest thing happens. She just starts laughing at him.
But like the setup was great. You said, "This is your music? You made this?" Yeah. You like it?
And it's great because she's high as a kite, and that was her reaction to all this.
And of course, this guy who thinks he's a god flips out.
Yeah, which is and this is the weirdest scene to me in the movie when he just starts tries to play with himself. After she said that, because he's so angry, he's like, "Wait." It doesn't make any sense why would do that to me. I don't know.
He angrily started masturbating.
He's like, "Laugh at me, will you?" And I don't know. So weird.
Oh man.
So strange.
Oh, that was.
And he's so mad.
And he just starts yelling, "Don't look at me!" At the people who are sitting around.
And they're all just looking at him. They don't turn away. And it's so odd. He gets so mad because of that, I guess from that rejection, that he decides to start calling her a whore.
Yeah.
And then
to kill her.
Basically, yeah, like one of the worst possible ways.
I have never seen that.
No, never seen. No.
So they go back and, well, I guess they just left. Throughout all this, Nicolas Cage's character is just tied to
like barbed wire to a post somewhere
with his mouth barbed wire and his hands barbed wire and no pants, which we find out later.
He's pantsless. He doesn't need pants.
He's just tidy whitey.
He's Cage. He doesn't need pants.
But that scene was hard to watch. I mean, it was less hard to watch because, if they would have showed her being put in the bag, it would have been even more difficult. But then I think the after scene where her skull is there, is. So they get this, spoilers. I guess we've been spoiling all
along, it's already spoiled.
Spoilers. They get this woman, they put her in a sack of some kind, hang her upside down, I'm assuming, and then just set her on fire and let her burn in front of her husband, Nicolas Cage. And then they stab him with some kind of holy sword of some kind.
Which I didn't get. But once again, very fantasy based. This is a
holy, but I wish it came up later or something, But that was just a crazy scene because he has to sit there and watch the love of his life burn and run alive. And then when he does finally get out, he has to he basically grabs her ashes and watch them blow away in the wind. And then Cage, the whole time, this Nicolas Cage we've seen has been reserved. He's been the perfect gentleman, quiet, a normal actor. But oh man!
Then they turned the cage on.
Oh man!
They let Cage out of the cage.
The cage raged. This fucker goes into the bathroom when he escapes the barbed wire. That starts down in vodka.
He has a hidden bottle of vodka for some reason in the bathroom, which I've heard of this thing before. Alcoholics will hide bottles all over the house, so wherever they're at, if they had to hide somewhere, they can get in there and get their booze.
That makes sense, I guess.
So he was apparently in the closet alcoholic or something. So he gets his booze and then he treats his wounds and he drinks a bunch of booze and he treats his wounds.
And then we see him go.
He just
from zero
himself.
to Cage. Gone in 60 seconds.
It was almost like if it hadn't been in spurts, it would have been like Goku powering up,
He's drinking.
He starts screaming.
I tried to find a soundboard for this movie, but there is not one. Oh my goodness.
There will be now.
There will be. Oh man. And he decides to go on a killing spree.
He goes for revenge.
Yes.
Big time.
Here's where a lot of my confusion comes in. What the fuck was he before? They make him seem like he was some super hunter killer dude? Because he goes.
He could have been. I don't know. They don't really explain it, and that's sometimes you don't really want to know. You just want to be, go along with the ride.
Yeah.
But he does forge one of the strangest weapons.
But even before that, though, he goes to this old guy who lives in a trailer,
which was great because it was a dude from Predator.
Yeah,
he was like, "I'm gonna have me some fun, guy." I just love him. I'm gonna have me some fun.
Yeah, from the OG Predator. Yeah. But this fucker goes to this old guy and retrieves a crossbow, and it's like.
Why not? Why not a crossbow? Maybe, yeah. Why not?
We live in 2018. I guess it was maybe set in the 80s, but you can go get a gun.
Yeah, out there in the woods, crossbow's fine.
And then he's supposed to, and then the guy was like, all right. He explains what he's gonna do, and the guy tells him, of course, about the demons, and he's like, all right, in that top shelf there, I got something special for you. And I'm like, oh, here we go. He's about to get some shit right now. What's about to happen? Nope, just two arrows.
Well, yeah.
Two
magic arrows.
Yeah. The old wise wizard gave him his special weapons. This is fitting more and more with what you said.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that was just, I don't know, man. That scene, was he some kind of badass hunter dude who hunted people for a living?
Apparently, he's like the Baba Yaga of the 80s.
Yeah. But he goes and he tracks down the demons, and the craziness ensues.
At first, he's not all that great because he gets taken out pretty quick.
He does.
Cage does, but then he retaliates, and then all of a sudden becomes an absolute beast.
I kind of wish he would have went for the demons afterwards.
I think he became the beast after he took some of the demon juice, whatever that demon juice was. They were
the enhanced LSD. These guys hold him hostage, but we get to get a glimpse inside the way they live.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. One of them has a knife for penis, yet is watching porn.
Yep. Very Seven, the movie Seven.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what before that, I guess we get a glimpse of, as he's walking past a room, there is an old man, naked, bloody butt, and all that.
That was weird.
I'm assuming that knife guy got to him.
Yeah, that was almost a Shining.
Yeah, with the bear. Yeah.
It was very weird. Like you didn't really want that glimpse, but then when you put it all together, you're like, oh man, really?
Yeah, that poor old man.
Yeah.
But Cage kills that guy who is doing like mounds, Tony Montana style, of cocaine over and over again.
But he's aware enough to see Cage sneaking up behind him in the reflection of something.
Yeah.
Which was like, huh? Like, this guy's good. But
then after Cage does cocaine.
Yeah.
And then the guy who tries to kill Cage right after that, I think he's saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, as Cage is killing this guy, "You're in my house now, bitch!" The top of his lungs, screaming that at the guy as he hits him. I have to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's screaming. "You're in my house now, bitch!"
This movie's awesome.
Oh man! Then he goes out and fights the leader, who's staring at a car.
Yeah, just staring at a car firing. Yeah, very weird.
Yeah, but then he goes after the cult people. There's really only one pretty much good fight scene there: the chainsaw guy. Everyone else he just kind of kills, no problem.
Right.
But yeah, that big ass chainsaw was nice. If Ash had one of those, man,
that was a crazy scene.
That was a good fight there. Yeah, so Cage kind of just cages through everybody.
Yeah, he goes to but he lets the young girl live for some reason.
Yeah.
And she played just as much of a part. I mean, she did seem the entire movie the most reluctant member of the cult. She seemed like just not like she was questioning it more so than anybody else was. But he let her live for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Just so there was a witness to his grandeur or what. But
I get maybe. But he gets revenge in some inventive ways.
He uses his magic arrows. He uses his axe.
He does. Yeah, I guess he cuts the guy's head off. Yeah.
The axe didn't play as pivotal a role as you would think.
I was hoping it did more.
But it was just. But there was
a whole scene of him making it.
Yeah, so you thought it was going to be more than what it was.
Yeah, other than that.
And he also, did you think it was weird that after the demon juice, I'll call it demon juice, that he became more almost like dark godlike, especially towards the end when he was talking to the religious guy?
But I mean, that's what they said. The guy who gave him his magical crossbow said, he's like, they started taking it, they started enjoying the pain, so I'm assuming he felt that even with he just like took a little bit on his tongue, like not even a lot, but his face melted off and went into some. What you think about those animated scenes? Like, I like the way they spliced those in, and that lends more to what you were saying too. Mm-hmm. They were a lot fantasy. Do you think he ever can go back to normal?
I don't think so. I think he's lost now.
Yeah.
That's how, cause especially at the end when he smimes. Oh. Like, how do you come back from that? That's a level of crazy. You can't come back. Like,
when he thought he saw her. Yeah. And it's covered in blood. Mm-hmm. I posted it on the Instagram and I sent it to you as well. Like, I mean, you saw it already, but oh man, that was so great. Only Cage.
They're
like, all right, we need you to smile here. Smile here. If it was anybody, Tom Hanks, you get your normal, right? But Cage is like
biggest smile he can make.
The rage that is Cage.
Yeah, he definitely lent something to this movie, but at the same time,
you think you heard it?
I think it would have been better, and I don't know if it'd been more received, but I think a different actor may have brought a different level of realism to the movie. I mean, it's already crazy fantasy based. So putting Cage in it is almost like gilding the lily. It's like crazy on top of crazy on top of crazy. They could have brought somebody that could have brought it down a little bit to make it seem more relatable or real. I don't know, but it just seemed just too much. But it's Cage. You can't not have too much.
Yeah, like that's what you get when you hire Cage. Like they knew it. Mm-hmm. You got to know that's what you're going to get when you hire him. I don't know, but Mandy, go watch.
Absolutely, go watch it. Go watch it multiple times because it is a
go watch.
It is a rush. It's one of the weirdest things I've seen recently.
Same here,
and I think that. It's probably why it's so good. I loved it because of my interpretation of the fantasy bits.
I love it now because of that.
And it seems so unique compared to some of the other stuff that we've been seeing. And I like that surprise.
It is very different. Yeah.
I love a movie that surprises me. And Mandy definitely surprised me. You can't not be surprised by that.
I'm going to say strap on your
sword,
your sword and shield, and your weirdness goggles, and get ready for a wild ride. If you have not seen this, and go watch it for sure.
We're not gonna lie, it's not for everybody.
No,
some people are gonna be like not be able to handle this.
No,
so this is for.
I recommended Tusk to people, and they thought that was too trippy.
The true believers should be watching this one.
Oh, Excelsior. Yeah, that's Mandy, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see Cage go to town, like you've never seen him before. You thought Ghost Rider was badass. But yeah, that'll bring this episode to a close. That's Mandy, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely go watch from both of us here at Go Watch a Movie. That'll bring us to the section where we tell you where you can find us. Instagram, Facebook, which you can access the podcast on Facebook if you're on the desktop. There's a little podcast tab. Twitter, Go Watch a Movie at podbean.com, and anywhere else you can find a podcast. You can find us. You just search Go Watch a Movie podcast in Google. We're also on Spotify. The episodes go up on YouTube as well. And just give us those likes, follows, and shares. We very much appreciate it. And we're still looking for that sponsorship, Jack Daniels. It is episode 59. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie. You're my house now, bitch!